We will get an answer to that question in a minute. And we are approaching the 2027 election. We have just 2 years till the conclusion of the first tenure. Parties are seeking alliances. They're trying to forge coalition to strengthen their positions. The current climate of political mergers, the reasons for this unprecedented trend, the parties uniting for a common purpose. Is this a strategy for survival it has on governance? Will these mergers influence decision-making process with the concerns about possibility of a one-party state? We will talk about policies be able to reconcile their ideologies. Well, these are some of the questions that would lead us into the conversation. And as we actually navigate in the PM, when we open the phone lines, you'll be willing to join us to give your perspective on the issue. But before we do that, we do have Mazi Chinedum Obioha, who will be joining us via the phone. He's currently in the East, but it really doesn't matter to have him. It is this guest, as earlier introduced, is Mazi Chinedum Obioha. Mazi Chinedum.
Well, thank you for having me. Just a few minutes ago, I just started up with your sister radio station, Melody FM, like somewhere in Abaja. Presently, I'm in the East, enjoying the good atmosphere.
That is wonderful. I'm really looking forward to when we can actually have you physically come to the studio, because I talk about you a lot. And so that's
my pleasure. Most of 2012 till now, most of them, they knew me when I was 80. Brand TV, TV more. So many. So yes. So, and it's my pleasure. I enjoy our station. I enjoy it. Mr. Fuad is doing wonderfully well, and you are doing great too. Beautifully well, fantastically well. God will bless you.
I'm flattered. Don't flatter Fuad. We don't want his head to swell. But thank you so much. Political mergers and what it has, the influence that it has on Greece. And that party is as a result of a merger. Nigeria's 3 largest opposition party at the time, the Action Congress, the ACN, the Congress for Progressive Change, as Charles Soludo will call it, was also a part of this particular merger. And this coalition or merger, if you like, gave birth to the former President Muhammadu Buhari's victory. Intro to the questioning. What do you think are the key motivations behind political mergers in Nigeria? What are the thoughts that you think are considered anytime they decide to join their political forces together?
You see, one thing that is true, whatever they want to say, and that is why I will constantly say, may the Lord bless you. Now, you see, when you talk about merger, coalition, in 1914 is where we are today. Then what is behind the idea of thinking of just a partnership, people of the same mind, people of the same ideology, people are now. You begin to ask yourself, is it the same concept that the founding fathers of this country had? What happened in 2014 when they were amalgamation of those that are on power now? They only ganged up, let me use the word, ganged up to restore power from PDP. Remember part of the merger, like Rally Mission, Bola Ahmed told the children, say, come, let us reason together. People of the same manifesto, people that say that have the interest are talking about is merger to have their own interests being protected. That's the simple answer. And you can go and sample opinion of the masses along on the street of Lagos, on the street of anywhere. They will tell you that these people are after themselves, after their own interests. There will be no PDP after next year, after 2 years to come. And what we are having now, do you know that there's no governance? What we have now is how trying to. The question you will ask is that are they merging for a common purpose to take this court? They ask me a question. These people that plan to have a coalition, bring other parties together, what is their intention? Their intention is it to move this country forward. The intention is to make sure that the lifestyle of an average Nigerian is improved. No, they're after the commonwealth of Nigerians. So when you talk about merger, you talk about people who are, some of them in there, let us go and restore power. Are they of the same mind? When you talk about partnership in elementary economics or elementary commerce, partnership are people of the same mind. The best thing for us to look at them is individually. What is behind their mind? Is it, are we getting it? When the present administration came on board, what did they not promise us? Are we saying it? Said, the answer is no. They are after themselves.
So let's talk about clash of ideologies, because even within existing political and see individuals from another political party, do you think that this usually poses a problem? And I want us to, for example, the Delta State Senator wanted to be governor of Delta State. There was that speculation of Ned Nwoko, and that was why he decided to join the APC. And even the APC at the time has said, now you have joined us, we're giving you the political structure of that state, thereby dislodging the between existing members and new members, and a clash of ideology.
You have said it all. It's in the president.
Right.
He has interest. There are other interests that PDP structure has been collected. We remain PDP. And there are people who are already APC strong members. Do you think that they will agree? So, what I've said, they are after themselves. Just like what happened in River State. We can say, look, it's not a problem. It's to share the loot that causes problems. Now, these people are now coming from a different world. When the Bible said, when the foundation is weak, there's nothing the righteous can do. To join it, and you think that those that have been there before will give you a chance. The answer is no. It will cause trouble. It will cause division. It cause a lot of things. Nothing, like I said, they are not after the power. They want to get a situation where they will be in charge moving it. They are not after the common man. They are not. I make go to whether you like it or not. He was the president. Whether the Supreme Court said he won the election. Even I appointed other ministers. There's unclassified or unconfirmed rumor that the wicked is eyeing the post of the president, and he has not fortified himself with power. You think he will be matter for what? Matter is good when you have people of the same ideology. Not to gather people, you rush to restore power, go and grab it, run with it. Is it what we enjoy? That it is aimed at coming together for a common purpose to move this country.
What sort of influence it has on governance or people self-preservation? Well, Sɪᴛᴜᴜ thinks is all about self-preservation rather than a desire to properly serve the people. We'll still open the stage, Babalola. We're currently streaming the program live on Facebook and on YouTube, so please join our live stream so that you can actually start commenting in real time. And when I start to take contributions, that's now a lot of people, and I would like to highlight that mergers don't just happen between political parties; it happens between people. In fact, undocumented mergers happen where two individuals have a gentleman agreement. I will concede, I will not contest this particular position. Who can even decide to have collaborations? Yes. And so I want to talk about what sort of influence it has on the just one vote. It does not mean that the voting forces don't have a vote.
Yes, of course. But let me explain. What happened in 2023? He gathered not because of labor. And the way I am seeing it is that people may decide to vote individually, bring something to us, not because of the party, a PDP for 24 years. And there was no even development, nothing at all. I am from Abia and I'm in Abia now. But if you come to Abia now, what happened during the time of local government election? When Abia was when Labour was in crisis, they stopped that election. He now directed those he now picked as they are likely to happen. So they are after individual, not after the party. With due respect, APC is everywhere in the southwest. But inside the township, I earlier defined partnership in the elementary economics and to run it with this one common goal to make profit. But along the line, there are people, a time will come when this much I'm being cheated. Let me tell you what happened. Why do we have welfare today? It was what happened in the Greeks and being marginalized. I said, okay, let us elect. So if something like that is not ruled out, we are asking now. This matter you are talking about, this coalition, people will now gather them, come and vote for me. That is why we have problem in senatorial election. in Kano, people voted because of Kwankwaso. Then in Southeast, people voted because of P2B, and of course, in my local government, jumping from one party to the other, they are jumping to where they will have their way, be encouraging merger with people of different minds, people of the same. No country will survive like this. In advanced country where we have to talk about merger is to make sure that we have money to invest on. That's the point.
Mazi, mergers ideally are supposed to help individuals amplify their individual because of the kind of authority and resources they have. They'll be able to support me to fix the education sector. That is an example. Do you think that because of the peculiarities of our electoral system, sometimes these individuals get overwhelmed and swallowed plans that they have? They're unable to execute it at the end of the day because of...
Yes, they may have good intention, but when they enter into new agreement with a new party, they are being swallowed because of the party structure. Look at what happened. I met voters and they stand as a strong opposition party. But when they entered, before you know it, they started fusing in not strong institutions. Actually, it's not here for a reason of for the cause of division or infighting. You should vacate a seat. How many of them have vacated a seat? How many? Let me give you an example. The Senate president, when he decamped to APC, you know what happened? Did he relinquish his power? And they said no. Vacated their post. Look at what is happening in River State. So they are after themselves, but they may have good intentions, and people may have seen their activities. So the structure is so bad. So impunity everywhere. They will close their mouth. You raising your hand from now to the end comes. Nobody will recognize you. And there's nothing you can do. You cannot stand up to talk. No, electoral reform should be redefined that when you decamp from home automatically. But when you decamp, you cease to be a member of that party. You vacate that seat. But Supreme Court said, look, their names have not been found in the register of the new political party. And that's so until we get it right, my dear, until our electoral reform is being redesigned to favor the right thing. But I don't see the present National Assembly to give us electoral reform that will be favorable to us. We don't see it. We can't see it because when the majority there is APC, even PDP, no matter who comes there, if they are after themselves, they cannot boldly make law that the transmission of election results should not be part of. From one political party, instantly, automatically, you lose that seat. But then, even when you decamp, let us say you are elected under the platform of president, when they allow you, because your ideology is quite different from their own, their interest is quite different from their own, confusion everywhere, you become a lonely voice in the wilderness. Nothing will be done. You can't achieve anything.
Mazi, allow me to play devil's advocate very briefly, right? Before you can implement whatever very strong foothold, before you can execute whatever great plans you have for the people, is this such a terrible idea for people to want to merge for self-sustainability, for self-preservation? Is that a totally with this person or with this party, I will lose and all my great ideas will perish with? Totally selfish. Is this such a terrible idea that people are choosing to put aside the kind of governance that they want at the end of the day?
Yeah, that's PDP from Labour, from whatever to APC. Go back. 2027 is around the corner. And you talk about having, before you have a structure. The type of structure I want is structure of I stay and go back. Otherwise, some of the former governors, they are still there. So it's there to remain relevant so that you become a PDP, a member of the House of Assembly. What about so many of them? I think representing Abia, not of my state. And when they are stayed 2 years and there's nothing, wanted his son to come there, that didn't work. So they want a situation, man. So you see, look at what happened. When they run from one party to the other, during the election, they will come back. Remember jokingly, Okrocha asked, I think the things we are talking about is how to move this country forward. And the on-party system, do we need multiple party system with bankrupt? With due respect, until we get to that point, we will not see the light of the day. The coalition we are talking, of course, they will get the surprise of their life this time because we are wiser. But then they make their money. Until a situation comes when we say, look, you open your eyes and say, this there's no light, there's no the schools. Look at what happened in JAM. During the JAM examination, look at what happened. Are we supposed to have what happened? I'll be like Daniel. I will not take the case me, but you won't survive. The majority will have it. That's the point. Whether you say it or not, look at Abayibe. He has been shouting. Like other senators, they've been shouting. Would they with responsibility of governors this time around, both at the local government level, both at the state level, both at the federal level, the vice president is the resolution house. How can we now say our lawmakers, even those in getting cards, why Nigerians are hungry? So it's still if we join them. That is what is happening.
Mazi, we're slowly wrapping up this conversation because we have another segment in another 5 minutes, and this would be my concluding question. Has there been any time in Nigeria to great benefit for the Nigerian people? And I will say this on the basis of this talk about the possibility that the greatest challenge of that particular speculated coalition is convincing the supporters of tickets is true. The report that Peter Obi affirmed from the two individuals, but a make-believe scenario, if this particular merger or collaboration happens, will it be beneficial to the people? And is there anything in the history of Nigeria and mergers and collaborations that indicates it is possible for a merger to be beneficial?
Maybe during our forefathers, the NCNC and whatever, I can't remember. But then I think there was a time, 90s, early 90s, they marched together. MPP and the MPN, there were some parties that marched together. Other ones collapsed. When you talk about P2B has come out clearly and said he cannot be deputy. He said use the word the coalition he wants. There is a possibility of them supporting anybody with the trend of things happening with the school students. P2B is crying about the poor state of our educational system, poor state of our. You know me very well. I've always said it. Even wives, your husbands are politicians. See what is happening. They are after themselves. Do what I say, don't do what I do. They will come with plausible tongues. They will come with sweet mouth call after you win the election. How many of them still pick your call after winning the election? So we have to open our eyes. It is about step. Me, my family, not the masses. Otherwise, look at what happened. After observing, I voted and went to the studio. Religion, don't come out. This religion and the I've not seen it. And this one might not be an exception. The opinion may not, and was not until PWB came. And people from SDP, people from Labour will not work.
Thank you very much, Mazi Chinedumobioha. It's always a pleasure to.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me. Greet my friend Fouad.
The Situation Room here on Mainland 98. Coalition and collaborating for their own self-preservation sources or political standing to execute it. And then they decide to join somebody. Every coalition, every collaboration, every merger is usually deeply rooted in the desire to remain relevant, and in most cases has nothing to do with the welfare of the people. You'll tell me what you think when we open the phone line, but we'll take a break so we can segue to the second segment of the Situation Room. We're going to be talking about abating police brutality in Nigeria. It will be an offense to not bring this conversation to the table. Today has been a very emotional day for a lot of Nigerians because of the video, and I think that this is a good opportunity for us to bring to the table once again abating police brutality in the country. We're not just going to talk about the concept of police brutality, we're going to talk about how we can make sure it is brought down to the barest minimum. And I'll have a guest join me in just a minute. Let's take a break so I can bring on.
I had a rumor that you were searching for the station to give you joy, laughter, and happiness. 98.3 Mainland FM, the sound of Lagos.
Things seem anxious and uncertain. I understand the hardship you face. I wish there were other ways, but there is not. If there were,
in our quest to bring to the table the time to welcome you into the Situation Room as we continue to build the narrative about public service and accountability.
Nowhere I can say it except here. This is why I'm elected. If I cannot say these things on this floor, sir, I better resign and leave.
That's us, man. There is nothing. We are starving. Tinubu should please do something.
It's also important to having a Nigeria of everyone's dream. Join Oዓይᴏɪɪ as it takes to governance and leadership every Monday to Friday from 4 to 5:30 p.m. on your super dial Mainland 98.3 FM. We'll welcome.
And we're back. Thank you very much. I did say that we have more conversations this evening, and we're not just going to stop about what's going on with our mayor. We will shine light on a very crucial topic, right, that demands our attention and it demands our collective action. I told you earlier we're talking about abating police brutality in Nigeria, and in recent years for reform there's been tragic stories of innocent life, how these actions have eroded the trust that exists between law enforcement and the community that they are supposed to serve. And only 24 hours ago, the internet was awash with a tale of woes, one that sent chills down the spine of Nigerians. A 14-year-old boy was, after that incident has elicited very, very harsh reactions from Nigerians. They've even started something of a... And so I'm going to bring into the conversation right now to guide us through this journey to a movement, Chairman, Africa Action Congress, Lagos, and he joins us via the phone. Good evening, sir. It's a pleasure to have you on radio.
Thank you very much for having me.
Of reality in Nigeria. It's been happening for a very long time, and one familiar statement: we would investigate and punish the erring officer. But for some reason, this has continued to happen. From unfortunate one we saw this yesterday evening / this morning of a 14-year-old boy that was shot because he's...
Thank you so much for inviting me. It is unfortunate that simple things that can be solved by technology and leadership keeps the solution. First is that historically, the Nigerian police were never created to protect the life of citizens. The Nigerian police, from the beginning, was created to protect. If you look at them, look at their attitude, that is what they do. The one that you see them doing, in addition, is just give better. They tend to clear the road for them. They tend to make sure that they are safe. They dare not shoot their gun. But when they see citizens, they become aggressive, especially the years, have all the political class. They all choose through politics as being a political ally of the president of Nigeria. So it's not going to do anything special in the Nigerian police force to solve any problem. So the people continue to face all these deaths and all this unnecessary killing. Because why do you have to shoot to mobilize the car? Why don't you just keep on pursuing the car till you catch the car? Unless even as though you do not catch the car, how difficult is it to take down a plate number?
But then, if you go to the police website, they will tell you their functions: crime prevention, invest on the agency. So why is there such a deviation from the core mandate that we usually see displayed? And also, would you say that the very sour relationship, the exchange relationship, that of situations like this one?
Yeah, something better. So trust will continue to build. But the Nigerian police force don't give the citizens any doubt for them to say, okay, yes, we are trying to get better. Every action nationally, as I speak to you, police is brutalizing somebody somewhere in this country. It is said to be extorted, to be bullied, or to be killed. That is how they see citizens. But when they say politicians, these are their godfathers. They bow, they can get some money. So that is the relationship that we have. So every Nigerian citizen, if you observe you're on the street, they avoid the police. They do not give them the end. They pay that. You see a police officer carrying the bag of a rich man, opening the door of a big man and all that. That is what people use them to. Like you said, you go to their website, they write to protect life and all that. That is just plain. It feeds on flesh.
to feed. That is to feed on flesh, human flesh, animal flesh. So the basic thing that the police do is to harass citizens. It's to harass citizens, kill citizens. And that is why we had an NSAS in 2020.
Sir, underserved people cannot serve people. And it brings us to the conversation of welfare. The government, right, is supposed to serve members of the police officers, and it has been linked oftentimes to why there's so much aggression in their discussed that welfare for the police officer is so terrible. Their living conditions, sometimes after service, they know there's nothing waiting for them. And so structure that properly caters to police officers such that they're able to focus on their duty rather than for their welfare. Would we see a minimization in the aggression that oftentimes exists between some police officers?
Because the reason why these officers are aggressive and excessive is because they know that politicians are corrupt, they steal, and these officers get peanuts for them. So they say, well, for us to live and also survive, we have to oppress the people that we can oppress. What are politicians doing? They are oppressing the masses. What are police officers doing? They are oppressing the masses with weapons. Politicians are oppressing them with politics. It's the same officers in this country, the lowest rank, maybe a constable, and you are paying him 500,000 per month. You cannot expect that kind of man will still stand on the road and be asking you for 50 naira. It's costing 500. But when a police officer is collecting 50,000, 45,000 naira, and he has maybe a by this location says, give me space, it's not, they are well paid. These are men that you give weapons of mass destruction plus poverty. Add those things together. What do you expect? And we should not go far. In Botswana, police are well paid. And go and look. Botswana has one of the best security systems after installed by Buhari's government. 10,000 naira. What exactly is 10,000 naira going to do for a family? Armed forces. The only reason why politicians have control over the people, that we take, they don't give them some money. I deal with police every day. Anytime there's a protest and they are deployed, poverty speak, including the police officers. This corporation will never pay police well. And that's why we are in the condition that we are today. So it's a factor, and a very huge factor. Very huge factor. A man that is paid $1 million or 600,000 citizens, he will treat himself with respect. But you see them disrespect themselves every day, just because of peanuts.
And we're talking about abating police brutality in the country. It's the Situation Room. I'm Sage Babalola, this bunch. And so we can highlight that there are some good police officers, but their good deeds are not oftentimes as loud as the terrible ones that we see. I just thought to make that comment. But let's talk about even the recruitment process. I know that there is a level of in your hands. You have the power of life or death to escalate situations. What goes wrong in the recruitment process? What goes wrong in the training per de-escalate situation without waving a gun in the face of the average civilian?
I'm so sorry. There's no scrutiny. There's no deep scrutiny in the training process. How are they recruited? Please understand it. I was talking to a young police officer and he was telling me he was trying to convince another the story. Is what I'm discussing with the police officer. But I'm going to shoot his name because, of course, he told me the cities that you begin that they are educated. And those ones, the policies that they have given, the politicians, not the people. But you see the lower guys, many of them are poorly educated. So either it's a talk or a cultist. Say it anywhere. Not as it's destroying communities, compensating. Because can't you see the way they behave? Not just the police officer, all forces, including the ones that are not even with weapons, last man, and the rest, they did under the influence of drugs. Just because you want to catch a traffic offender. Did they kill somebody? Even when you want to be jogging and have to shoot guns, do they teach them how to manage their mental health? Because as a police officer, you see a lot of pain every day. You see a lot of crime every day. It affects your mental health. Do they teach them how to manage it? They don't teach them all those things. And these are people that face citizens. The recruitment model The training model of Nigerian police is out of date, is stale, and I don't think any Nigerian even know it. They are the ones that know what they do in their police academy. And when they come out, we don't see any people elite are not interested in getting it done. Police issue is the least of their problems. Why? Or a senator or house of reps, nobody kills them. If only you go to the beach, police even follow that was on the beach from few days ago, weeks ago. Police that get shot and shot on somebody that gets shot is none of their business. And that is the real problem. The politicians are the one allowing this thing to continue.
Should we see meted out on trigger-happy policemen who abuse power? And it's a dual question, and I want to be very careful in asking this question so it doesn't seem like I'm blaming the people for the inadequacies of a government agency. But do you think that sometimes our actions as people might a belief that this man is coming to harass you? In some cases, that is not what is about to happen. But because of the things that we've seen, the stories that we've read, we believe that every time a security man approaches us, they want to knowingly escalate the situation. And what sort of punishment should be meted out on erring police officers?
I love the question because it's very balanced. I don't know the worst police force in the world. You can browse it. Our judicial system, our police system, terrible. So that everybody can be checkmate. Everybody, 200 million citizens, can be checkmate and make sure that they are officers of the law. So they apply the law in all their duties. Even if citizens are excessive, it is the officer of the law that understands the law that should be the best person in that situation to calm it down. The police will want to do something for them. You should be able to calm them down and let them know it's not. If I've been in hundreds of locations where the police are well trained, they solve this problem quickly. If few that do well. Now, what should be the punishment for extrajudicial? And this thing even happen once in a while, you will see the way they will address these issues. The last one that happened in I think the US or so, the entire division of that police did a press release, live press release. You will see the face, you will not know the name. I was involved in Tᴏᴜᴛᴜ that was killed. Again, Phillips. We checked the record. We know there is again Phillips. They brought someone to come case in. So when the police officer is shielding killers, shielding police officers, they are not ready to solve the problem. Or they release app tweet or app video to hide their own guilt on the issue, just to blame citizens, like they did in the case of Oyo, in the mother. Yes, the arrest will not determine whether you are going to go to prison forever or not, that the court to do that. But immediately, the division should be solved immediately, ruling out first this how it happened and giving us guidelines how it will never happen again. Then the case will take it to court, so that the court can determine the fate of that person. But that doesn't happen. Fly him to another location. They do that a lot, So that issue, because when we face the law, people will sit up. At least you will sit up. In the next few months, you hear about another killing again in this same country, just by the case of Rio.
We really hope not. Well, we have to take phone calls. We'll take phone calls at exactly 10 minutes past 5, so we still have about 2 minutes. When you turn it back on, it records at least 10 minutes of puts you in a difficult situation. I know that the Anti-Torture Act, I can't remember in most courts, it becomes inadmissible. But you see people, suspects that get to court and they have bruises all over. The police will obviously say they didn't touch that individual. Body cams. We have active surveillance system where if you break a traffic law, and your fine will be sent to your mail the next day, and your vehicle will be abandoned anywhere they see you in that particular state. Do you think that would help, to prevent police brutality and things like this, where there is clear evidence and even the fear of the...
Including last man and the one that complained of traffic offense. And that is the interest. That is why they will never push for a body cam or camera. Because this is 2025. You don't begin to pursue traffic offenders like they just kill plate number. It takes the video. You will pay for your offense. The fine for overspeeding or passing in one way is in a country where our roads are terrible, in a country where there are gutters everywhere and things are not well covered. You see a LASMA or a police officer or an FRSC pursuing a technology will solve this problem, but they are not interested. I can tell you that. They are not interested. What they are not, they have not any offense. There's a particular sticker that you have to put. You don't have that sticker, they were everywhere. So some also on the Maryland Road, they were everywhere. They have targets. Think of that video. So you are erecting, don't manual sign. Wicked men in the police. Wicked. So they are not interested in the offense. They are interested in making sure they stop. Technology will bring down all these men. You don't have to pursue anybody. If the police are doing pursuits, you should be there pursuing a murderer, they are pursuing kidnappers, they are not. Those are the people that you need. And when you are doing that, there's sirens clearing people out of the way. The people of your state, a shame on the IG who are having a PhD holder. What is the influence?
I'd like to take a phone call so I can hear from people. It's been wonderful talking to you. You have a Ross now talk to you. I'm really sorry. I know I have taken out of your talk time, but it's important that we talk about these things and get expert opinion so we know what exactly we're doing and we're not just ranting and repeating the same thing over and over. We get fresh perspective when we talk to experts. It helps us to form our thoughts. We earlier spoke about political mergers and the influence it has on governance. Are people merging? Are people forming coalition for their self-preservation or for the ability to serve the people? That's the first conversation. And then we just spoke about police brutality and how we can bring it to the barest minimum, all the factors that have led to it and the things we can do to minimize it. What are your thoughts? 0913-600. Hello, good evening to you.
Good evening to you, Lady Sage.
Good evening in a minute.
Okay, for the problem. I think we were about to retire into the car. What young man, you will charge for manslaughter as well. Because that man obeyed the law. All these things has happened. What is everything happened. When they stop you, why can't you stop? So it's stop there, it's stoppable. Both the police and
Thank you,
that's what I'm saying.
Thank you so much. I apologize. We don't have a lot of time. All right. Hello.
With your first guest, that's Mazi.
Yeah.
Mazi has given a clean and clear. The merger they are talking about is for their political interests. It's for the antecedent of most of them. I remember the late governor of Kano State, when Atiku was the vice president of, to Obasanjo, he said what is left to Nigeria is central bank. That is why. Then on the issue of the police, I will disagree with your guest in saying the police was inaugurated because the police that is doing the wrong thing, that is messing up the police. The fundamental principle of police is to protect the Africa on their wrongdoing, assuming that the challenging or prosecuting the misuse of harm. They should have, they caution themselves. So government.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. All
right.
Thank you very much. This is Madam Bʀᴜᴛᴜ. I am calling for a demo.
Welcome.
Thank you. In fact, if possible, the happy trigger police officer and the father of that innocent boy, the death of that innocent boy is unfortunate. And it was it is avoidable. Why did I say this? I'm not sure that it will happen in this way. And also, driving against one way is an offense. And also, the incident happened in my presence at Ago Palace way about 2 or 3 years ago. When that folk came and cleared the man, he killed the man right in my presence. It was the effort of the dispatch rider and some other Okada that apprehended him. Even though it would have gone scot-free. So, for the man to expose the...
God bless you too. Thank you. Hello. Good evening.
Hello.
Hello. Good evening. Yes, you're on. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. We keep coming together. The northern politicians are coming together.
You say, what happened to the northerners?
I say the northern politicians are coming together to fix Nigeria's problem. Hello?
Okay, you said they're coming together to fix Nigeria's problem.
They are coming to fix Nigeria's problem.
Yeah.
I say who has been winning Nigeria? Yes. They say who has been winning Nigeria? Who has been winning Nigeria? majority of our leaders. I did not remember.
Okay, the thing is, I cannot hear you clearly, and I cannot chew your phone. I don't have confidence that you probably won't say something that is against radio rules, and so I would want you to call me back and talk directly to your phone rather than through a headset. Okay. Hello. Good evening to you.
Hello, Sage.
Yes. Good evening. Yes.
Especially the second one you brought, the second issue, it nailed it on the head. We don't even have police system that we can trust in this nation because of their past antecedents. We don't want to use technology because they know that technology will expose all their excesses. So that's why they are doing all this nonsense, and that is why I've been calling that we should not try all this state policing, because it is not only because politicians will use it for their own personal gain, but they will also use it to just settle their boys and recruit all.
Hold on, let's not call them that. Okay, I get it, but let's not call them that.
Okay, sorry, I will do that statement. But they don't have nothing on their head. It seems they don't have nothing on their head, because the way they arrest situations, you will think that is this people even learned at all? And that is what I was saying. Okay, if you move to state policing, they will just go and bring people from quack places and pull them up, and now begin to mess up system and begin to mess up Nigerians again. So it's better we continue on this system and we try and improve on this one. Once this one is very, very okay and it's improved, then we'll now say, okay, we need more. That is where we cannot think of state policing. But aside that, we should not mess up this system the more by bringing up people that are not learned to come and be doing all around this nation.
Thank you very much. We have common ideology. Buhari and President Tinubu do not have the same ideology, but they're just after power grabbing. The same thing is playing out between Atiku and Obi. It is just all about grabbing power. They have nothing to offer the masses, although Obi has come out to say that he's not after power, that he will not be involved in any merger that doesn't have the interest of the masses. All right, John Bernard, we have good evening. Nothing to do with our conversation this evening. We have Taiwo Oshunsonya from Akonwajo Egbeda, who says, Sage, your guest comrade Ayoyinka has displayed deep knowledge and understanding of the modus operandi of the below par performance of our police officers and men in policing our society the right way. Although the police have their take-home pay should be improved to encourage them to do better. The government at all levels should help them by empowering them with the necessary as expected. Let's see if we can take at least 2 more calls before we leave the studio. Hello, evening to you.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening to you, sir.
Yeah, my name is Shola.
Welcome.
Yeah, for that man that whose son was shot and killed, number one, now he's going to live throughout his life without guilt, knowing that what he did is part of what for. If we're in a country that our officers have camcorders or recorders or, that they can use to, just record an El-Rufai, who is that in an opposition, if he was among the ministers. We all know. They don't anything, we all know. Some of us have pity for Nigerians as a whole. May God just help us to rally together and make the right choice.
We know, let me say clearly that professionalism is pegged in the police now, because they are retaining somebody that is supposed to have retired. Instead of allowing him to go and relax himself and bring fresh blood, fresh ideas that will professionalize Nigeria police. And also be very, the person that is not already being very stupendously rich, the person that wants to come out with some immediate that will make all the policemen to wake up to their duty. We need that from time to time. Let Egbedoko leave that place and let another person come in, and then also monitor the police affairs and also regulate their activities. For that border, that person that murders somebody, too wrong cannot make it right. It's a murderer. Let them judge him as a murderer. You can't just release bullets anyhow. That's number one.
Yeah, the court will decide
Coalition is the best way to go. And let me tell anybody that cares to know that we have history in Nigeria. It will be reviewed to go by that coalition idea. We know what he did when he was a governor for 8 years and
Anambra State.
All right, thank you very much. I wish I could continue to take your thoughts, but we do not have the red. Stay tuned for the bulletin at 5:30. After that, we would have the sports crew join at 6 p.m. to trail us what's going on in the world of sport. At 7, we would have the ladies, Gloria Young, Bimbo Akintola, and NY on Ladies Lounge. And right after that, we do have Love and Life with Kemi Sola Moradeyo. I'm Sage Babalola, same time tomorrow, 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m.